As a creative person, schools definitely need art, you know, and the art programs in the school system. For me, like when I was in high school, we had like certain outlets that you could express yourself, you know, as a person, or, you know, a young boy or a young girl. Like you had your gym, you had, you know what I mean, your, whether it was PE or whatever you want to call it. And then some people had arts and crafts, you know, some people had music class. I feel like they just gave you a chance to express yourself and put your true feelings out on something. Like now I feel like kids don't really have a place to do that. They don't even know what it means to express their feelings or to even learn how to express them in a better way. And I know that it helps because as an artist, for me, whenever I'm going through something, whether it be good or bad, one of the first places I want to go is to the studio. You know what I mean? Like I want to document that moment. I want to put it down on the track. I want to put it on wax. And I think that if students had that option where they knew, okay, this is something I can turn to. It might not necessarily be music, but it might be drawing, you know what I mean? It might be painting, it might just be writing, you know, whatever it is. I feel like that could also be an outlet that they could learn, you know, it's something that could help them as adults and even going in college too. I think the biggest challenge with kids and with teens nowadays is the disconnect with the parents. There's no relationship in the home. You know, I used to mentor kids for a while in Atlanta for like 3 years. And so I dealt with kids in defects, in group homes. I got a chance to really just listen to a lot of kids' feelings, you know what I mean, and ask them questions to understand the way they thought, you know, and why they did some of the things they did. And a lot of kids, they just don't feel love, you know what I'm saying, in the household. Like, the streets become their way of getting love, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the homies on the block that they feel like gonna look out for them or that's gonna protect them, or even that's just gonna listen to them. At home, you got parents that's, whether they going through a lot or they working 2 jobs just to try to provide. You know, it's not always because they neglecting the kids. Sometimes, you know, they have valid reasons for why they gotta work 2 jobs. But nevertheless, it's the kids that's lacking something in the home, you know. I was always taught, man, that you should get, you know, security and these type of things from your father figure. Security, you know, self-esteem, you know, direction. And from your mom, you're supposed to be able to get love and caring and things like that. And when you can't get those things, you're gonna find it somewhere. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the streets, whether it's drug dealing, whether it's women, you're gonna find something to fill them voids in your heart every time. First of all, man, everything that's going on in the news right now has been crazy with the police. I feel like it's been a lot of senseless killings, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially between the police and young adults. My theory is that I feel like it starts in the home. And, you know, a lot of people might not agree with me, man, but I'm just the type of person where I'ma always look within first, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never really try to put something on somebody else. Obviously, we know the police, if they could put a stop to what's going on, they would have been did it, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, their method and their way is not working. So I feel like as people, we got to step up and be an example and really be the bigger man, you know, even when it comes to the police. I think it is kind of sad nowadays that the people you supposed to look to be, you know, the crime stoppers or, you know, the mediators, you know, in the hoods or in the communities. These are the same people that we going to war with and we fighting with. But whenever you in a situation with somebody and you got to take the upper hand, or you got to, you know, you got to be the bigger person, I feel like whenever you do that, you always gonna have more power in the situation. And I feel like as people, if we take the you know, the upper hand, if we become the bigger man in situations, that's gonna put us as people in a more position of power than we are right now.
You know, I used to see guys getting beat up and cops shooting at, you know, innocent black men and doing things to us kids just for no reason. We could be walking from a football game in a pack and they come in and roughing us up.
So like when I kind of went solo, people was like, oh, that's Cap from the group, you know, and that's where my name Cap G come from. It's from my group, Kids That Play stands for Cap.
His attitude towards us had been developing into a fuck y'all. Cause he felt like he had driven for like some bands back in the day, like Led Zeppelin or some shit, I don't remember.
That's another reason why I love soul music. Soul music is a feeling, make you forget the problems, the bills, the bad kids, the tripping baby mama, the tripping baby daddy, the passing of your mother, the passing of your father. Soul music just lets you enjoy that moment right then and there.